Hello, good morning. Welcome back to another episode of Just 5 Minutes a Day. I hope you're having a fantastic day and are ready to just relax, step away from all the stress and worry of your life, and just listen for 5 minutes. Today's question is a special request from one of my listeners that found me in person. And the question was, how do I know when to trust my gut? And so I would say most of the time you should trust your gut because your gut is really just your experiences built up along your entire life. And it's just your gut immediate reaction that your mind is telling you based off its previous experiences. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean you have to make a knee jerk gut reaction and act on this, but you should listen to it, make sure you know what it's saying, and then I've been hearing from someone that is very wise that if you have a decision to make that's a big life altering decision, and you're still wondering, it feels like it's my gut, but I can't really tell, or I feel like it's the right decision, but I don't really know. What you do is you just give yourself some time. You give yourself 48 hours, a week, however long you feel like you want to take to come back and reevaluate this decision. And if after 48 hours or a week you feel the exact same way and your mind hasn't changed at all, then I say you go for it. You make that big jump and that big decision. But sometimes there's thoughts and things that come up because you're upset at someone or you're really angry at the world or whatever. And so sometimes those things that we think might be gut feelings might just be a knee jerk reaction to us feeling uncomfortable or upset. And so if you give yourself that time, usually you'll see that you start to feel a lot better. You're not as upset, you're not as angry, and you don't want to make that decision anymore. And so that's how you know not to act on that decision. That it was just a decision that was something that would have been based on a temporary reality. Because something that I've also heard is that you don't want to make permanent decisions based on temporary situations. Because if you make a permanent decision on a temporary reality, then that decision will eventually not be reflecting your current reality, and it could really, really hurt whatever you had going on or whatever you were building. And so, if you have this gut feeling that you should do something, I think that you should really consider it, but maybe sometimes you can act on it immediately if you know the gut feeling is strong enough, only you will know that. But you have to also understand that if you make that decision, there are consequences that come with every decision we make, and you just need to be okay with whatever happens. And so, before you make the decision, you need to calculate the consequences and be like, okay, if this were to go wrong and the consequences were to happen, am I okay with that? So, like, if you make a decision to stop talking to a family member or something like that, you need to calculate the consequences of, okay, well, if I stop talking to them and I never see them again, or if they were to pass away, would I be okay with the way I left things off? And if the answer is yes, then you can do that. But if the answer is no and you'd be living with regret, maybe that's a decision you want to reconsider. Maybe you're just upset with this family member or this person, and you really care about them, but you're just upset with them. And so you're making this permanent decision to not talk to them anymore based off your temporary reality of being upset with them. So I would say give your decisions time, think about them, and don't make life changing decisions on a snap call. Thank you guys so much for listening today. You guys made it all the way to the end of the real ones, and I will see you in tomorrow's video.